All right, let's roll.
Hey, y'all.
Hello. You're with Alexandra Walton,
Dr. Whitney Gillespie,
Linda McGowan,
Kim,
and Miss Kim Walton.
Hey.
Hey.
You're with Southside Book and Writers Club this afternoon. We're at the North 25th Street location library. And this afternoon, our book club review is on The Sisters Are All Right by Miss Tamara Winfrey Harris.
All right, we're going to kick off this panel discussion, starting with how I feel about the book. Then I'll tell you my rating. Because once I talk, maybe I'll come up with the rating. All right, so this is what I think. I think the book was a feminist, thought-provoking. I think she said stuff that people thought, but they weren't bold enough to say it. Exactly. I think when she hit on the piece about, Madonna can wear anything and everything she wanted to wear, do whatever she wanted. She's considered a sex symbol. Mm-hmm. But people like Beyonce come and all of a sudden she's a thought. She's not being a good role model for black little girls and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. She touched on that. She touched on history. She brought you the history lesson by talking about Sarah Barton. Talk about how she was the icon that had a big booty and she was on display and people treated her badly and poked fun at her and looked at her because it was like, here is this curvaceous black chick. Even to her death, they dissected her body parts, put them in a museum for people to look at because that's how they felt about us as black women. And over time, as we as women have found our role in society, because black men, let's call it what it is, have stepped out of their place. So we've had to take on the independent role, the actual entrepreneur, the businesswoman role. We have started to look at ourselves and appreciate our curves. Yes. We started to appreciate our mindset. We started to appreciate what we contribute to society. And we became less of the homemaker and more of the home creator. We became less of the, I can bring something to the table and becoming the whole doggone table. So she introduced us and reintroduced some of us to what made us powerful. She talked about topics that were controversial. She talked about what it means to use certain stereotypes about women, what it means to be courageous, what it means to have curves and be bold, and what it means to speak out, what it means to dress a certain way. She talked about how Madonna can do something, and not just Madonna, but white counterparts from the black people can do something, and they are looked at as positive in the media. They're looked at as a sex symbol. They're looked at as somebody you want to emulate. Mm-hmm. But then when you have a black female like Beyonce or somebody like that, they look at her as, well, you're supposed to be a role model. Even when she did the crossover, when Beyonce did the crossover, and she went from talking about, her little wholesome Pepsi commercial to then becoming bootylicious and then becoming her rocket and her more ratchet, in their opinion, ratchet versus, then we start looking at her as, you're no longer a role model, but she's still a philanthropist. She's still the one going out in the community. She's still the one building schools in Africa. She's still the one doing stuff with Jay-Z. So I like the fact that the book talked about different things that we are sometimes not bold enough to say because we don't want to be labeled as, oh, you that black feminist. Why is it I cannot support my own? Why is it I cannot stand up for my own beliefs without being labeled, oh, you that, oh, you this? But any other white person, they can have a whole movement and we can get behind them, support them. They can have millions of likes on Facebook. We can do a whole monument for them. But let a black person speak out against societal norms and then all of a sudden we're labeled as, you're that. Mm-hmm. And I think I like the fact that she brought up topics. She gave too much information. I got tired of reading after a while. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, listen, this is a lot of reading. I'm keeping it honest. But after a while,
if we're too outspoken and too confident, and we're too well educated, too intelligent, right, then it's a problem. That's not. They talk about the black man. I'm gonna say melanin man not being in the household, right, and that because we're looking at it as if we're too independent. No, we drove them out. We didn't drive them out. The white man came from slavery. Speak calmly. White man came from slavery. The Caucasian, let's call it, took them out of the household. He already had to go out there and work. He had to go out and work, right? Mm-hmm. Nowadays we don't have it like that. But calm it down when you're talking, so right, people understand. So we went from the Caucasian male, the white male, whatever, to Caucasian white, black, Negro, whatever.
The only reason I'm cutting across for y'all to calm it down, I want people to actually
hear what we're saying.
What you're saying, because it's important. Because you are two young, black, successful women in your 20s. Right. You understand?
Yes.
Right. I want them to hear what you have to say.
Right. Okay.
Because this book, I read the book, and I'm going to give my point of view in a few minutes. Yes. Tamara Harris, I think she hit it on the head.
She did.
Okay, so I want to make sure everybody can hear y'all. You can be adamant about it, but I want everybody to hear me clear. I want them to hear it all.
Okay. So I think it started with, and I don't even think it is factual, it started with the white man's slavery that we need to go back and address. It did happen. It started with slavery, dividing the family. And when you break the foundation of the family, then you force, when there's no male figure in the household, you force the woman to step up into that role. And when a woman, a real mother, will do whatever it takes to provide for her babies. So when you leave out my household, I'm going to take care of my family. So it forced me to step up into your spot. And when you went out, then I became the head of the household. I didn't become the head because I'm super independent. I'm a Jezebel. I'm a home wrecker. I got to have the pants on. I became independent because, baby, when you move out, I got to still take care of the household, whether you come back or not, because that's why you always know, you always have your mother. Daddy may be, maybe, but your mother's going to be consistent. You can always depend on mom.
And a good point that you made. You think about slavery. The black man was forced out.
Forced out.
Okay? That right there, that conditioning,
right?
That goes on even now.
Yes.
You have a lot of black men that thinks, I can't deal with a strong black woman.
Right.
And you can have a strong woman that does not fuss, does not nag, but she works 70 hours a week. She handles her business. But she's called misindependent. Yes. She's called dangerous. Or you overly confident. And from other sisters, you'll get called bougie. Right. Because you make sure your family eats.
Right.
Okay? And the words that I'm using, what I was called.
Right. And I was even asked if I was growing up, I was asked, oh, you have a white daddy? You have a white mom? Because you're educated. You talk proper. You actually speak correctly. And then I am, if not doctor, and so is my mother. And it offended me because even to the point where they're like, well, what's Richmond Public Schools? And proud of it. But a lot of times, we're so busy labeling our fellow man instead of understanding that instead of trying to define you and identify who you are or what you are at that particular time, I need to just embrace who you are and get on my own. If I worry about my mentality, my lifestyle, my household, trying to better myself instead of pulling you down like crabs in a barrel, like the black mentality, if we look at it, only the black community that I know of is the black community we focus more on putting on our back than building an empire. The white community, they could be a multi-billionaire and they will walk around with broke down shoes, regular jeans, cut up pants, and driving a Ford pickup truck. And they're not into labels because they're into putting money in the bank. They're into teaching their kids how to market. Only our community doesn't know how to teach our kids how to market. Only our community doesn't have that.
I don't think it's a case of not knowing how to teach our kids how to market.
We just don't.
I think it's a case of we don't. Because you have a group of individuals right now where they sit back and, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all can't see me.
Right.
But you know what? Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, flip it around.
Flip it around real quick.
Let's see.
Hey guys, this is Kim Walton, founder of Southside Book and Writers Club. We are doing a book review of Tamara Harris, The Sisters All Right. I know you guys heard that. And I'm going to step over here because I realize I'm out of the other camera, okay? Yeah, we're getting used to seeing 2-3 cameras going on. All right. I think part of the problem, Whitney had a good point. She said, what, they're not
educating our children on budgeting, on marketing, on all of that.
I'm going to tell you part of the problem with that. It's not for the school system. We want the school system to help us educate. It's household. Anytime you have a parent more concerned with twerking, and I say that because working for Richmond Public Schools, yes, I work for Richmond Public Schools.
I work more now.
And I don't work for them anymore. I've been sick for 4 years. Okay, but even if I was there, I'm gonna say what I need to say. I saw more parents who were more concerned with twerking, the male teacher, the male security guard, what this other child has on, than making sure their kid came to school prepared. You could go to the dollar store and buy a pack of paper. So when I was reading The Sisters All Right, she hit on some points that it bothered me, but I saw it and I see it every day. Part of the problem with that is the fact we are dumbing down. Our children, we are dumbing down our neighborhoods, our society. We can't put all the blame on everybody else. Yes, they're doing what they're doing, but if we sit there and control what we're doing as young, older, sexy black women and young black women, then we sit there. What do we do?
Sexy in that, but okay. Go ahead.
Well, listen, y'all the younger version of me, so sexy are always there. But if we do what we need to do, guess what? Our kids can be just as successful as their kids or this kid or that kid. Okay? So we have to strive to do more. And as black women, we also, this book lets you know that as a black woman, don't be scared to be black. you know. And I'm gonna jump to Whitney did her take. I'm gonna do my quick take on the book. And I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna say this. When I put 2 sentences on the book club's Facebook page, I asked, what is, hey Diane, hey dog, what is an angry black woman?
Yeah.
What makes an angry black woman? Do you know what an angry black woman is? Because I've heard this term so much. I've heard it from non-black women. I've heard it from the black male. And I would like to know, what is an angry black woman? What constitutes an angry black woman? How do you figure she's angry? Because see, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, maybe she won't be angry. I think that society has us messed up and wrong. There's a reason why in the news, you'll see them go talk to the fool. And yes, I said fool.
Every time.
They'll go talk to the fool who about half high, coked up, cracked out of her mind, can't talk, ain't got good sense, and she talking about what? They're not going to come and have that conversation with me, Linda, Diane, Allie, Whitney, or Ladybug right here. They're not going to talk to us because we're actually going to have something to say that's important to say. We're not saying, hey, house burning down, kids in there, we're going to run inside and get the food stamp card. No, I'm going to sit there and say, house burning down. I'm going to kick the door in because I got to sit there and go get my kids out there. Or better yet, since my kids are grown, I got to get in there and get my grandbabies. Okay? So does that make us angry because we are we too strong for people?
I think that's what it is.
You know, are we too strong?
I think that's what it is.
You know, because I love black men, but no black man is my father. Okay? No black man is my father. If my father did not abuse me, why should I allow another black man that's supposed to love me abuse me? And I think that when people talk about angry black women, that's part of the difference. Black women will fight back. Okay? And I think that when you start talking about they nag, what's nagging? Now, if you have a good man that actually works, you work, he works, y'all work together unless something's going on, you know, then that's different. Y'all work together, household going good. Where does the nagging come from? There can't be a nag, as long as everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. But if you have that black male that comes inside, he feels the only thing he can do is just lay his head on your sofa in your bedroom, and she nags too much, she fucks, because she gets up and goes to work every day. You're doing an injustice to her, and you're doing an injustice to yourself for the male race, because you're telling the ones coming behind you that you're no good, and it's okay to be no good, in my opinion. Now, a true black man, like I said, I always ask my grandfather, why men are always on the corner? And I ain't talking about the ones hustling, I'm talking about the ones, they ain't even hustle, but they just stand on this. I mean, at least hustle, do something. You ain't even do that. And he used to sit there and tell me, he said, some people just ain't got no drive. The drug dealer had more drive than what they had. You know, and you talk about black women and you prefer the blonde and blue eyes. My thing is this, for any man, that black male that prefers blonde and blue eyes, you should. Because I wouldn't want you. And I'm being real about it. I would not want you. Because as soon as you raise that hand up at me, I'm going to go ahead and let the man take you out. Okay? He can take you out. He can deal with you. Because it ain't no need talking when you're coming back. No. That don't work either. You know, and you're not coming back around me. I'm not buying your shoes. I'm not buying your cigarettes. I'm not paying your car. No, I'm not paying your cell phone. You know, I'm not doing none of that. And I'm going to expect you to do it. See, that's the key right there. So I don't think that we are angry black women. I think we are used to handling and taking care of our families. We're used to handling and taking care of our business. And we're used to doing it in a way that we work ourselves to death doing it. You know, and that is part of the problem. We work so much taking care of our families that we forget to take care of ourselves. And people say we're angry with this, with that. But you think about how we're judged. We're judged based off everything. I mean, I get called bougie. I am a product of a GED. And I'm proud of it. You know, I am a product of it. But I'm a strong, badass black woman. And I read that book and they were saying that some of the women, they didn't want to be associated with being called badass because it's not. No, it's not. I associate it because anytime you can turn your life around to work hard and achieve the stuff that you achieve, and let your parents know they may be dead and gone, that hey, I heard you, I did it. You badass. You take care of your kids. You take care of your business. You make sure your kids got a place to sleep. You feed them, but you nurture them and love them so they don't end up falling the way you did. Yes. That's what a badass black woman is. Okay, that's what a strong person is. Period. That's what a strong woman is. Now, this book right here may be for black women, but I think that a lot of other colored women need to read it so you can understand what black women are not. Because we're not dogs. We're not angry. I know personally for me, I don't care what you have, you know. And I'm friends with everybody. I love everybody. But I say like everybody because I have to know you to love. But I like everybody, get along with everybody. No, I don't go out there and want to fist fight everybody. Don't have time for that stuff. Like I said, I dial man on you first. But if I can't get to the man, I will defend myself. Ain't nothing wrong with that either. So I think a lot of white women, Asian women, and any woman, maybe y'all need to read that book so you can understand black women, period.
I think it's a good book for all.
Yeah. And I want black women. Read the book. Ask yourself why you need blonde hair. And I'm being serious. Why do you need blonde hair? What's up with the blonde hair? And yeah, I told them, I said, I want to shine for this one because I want to say this. So y'all can get mad at me. What's up with the blonde hair? And I don't care if you paid for it. Because if you're going to get upset about this child over here wearing cornrows and she's white, why are you wearing them blonde wigs and you black, okay? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with your confidence? Because I got gray, I got scars from cancer and everything else. I got 3 stomachs from cancer. And Lord knows I'm trying to work it out, but you know, it just takes time, you know. But I still feel that the sister's beautiful. So my thing is, what's wrong with you all, for my black sisters, that you feel that you have to go get cement in the backside? While you twerking, hit a squat, okay? And this is from a woman that's hitting almost a 5'0". Hit a squat once in a while, okay? Walk around the park, get you some exercise, but don't go do all that stuff. This right here for black women. I've always had big lips. We got sisters out there going out there. These things reaching the wall over there. They fall into the floor. Why? And these are for sisters and Caucasians. Why are you doing that? Have some confidence in yourself. And that's the point that's in that book. They talked about they don't want black women to be confident. We are black. You are black. Whether you black, green, or yellow, you are beautiful. You understand? You are beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. I'm beautiful. We are all beautiful. Beautiful is beautiful. Black is beautiful. Do you understand? There's nothing wrong with that. So we need to stop with that right there too. We need to stop with the self-hatred. Self-hatred not only comes from words, it comes from what you do to yourself. And like I said, before you start, for the black sisters, before you start checking these white sisters for this, that, and the other, check yourself first. Because whoever they're laying beside, I care less. I'm going to have my chocolate drop, because that's what I like. I like that flavor. So I'm there. You see what I mean? I care less than who they're laying beside. They happy, you do you. You know? So stop worrying about that type of nonsense and be true black women. Black women, we uprise. And I don't mean uprise as a fist fight going crazy. We uprise and we uplift our neighborhoods and our people. You know what I'm saying? We guide our people. And that's what you need to do. And we guide our people by doing something else. Ms. Linda, can you stand for a minute? I didn't get this until anybody knows me know I love my grandfather. He's been dead for a while. The man taught me well, raised me well, and I was hard-headed. But you know what he told me about my nana? Tell me understand. He told me, he said she was a force. They guided him. You understand? Whether you are in homosexual, heterosexual relationship. Pop told me, he said, Lucy, that was my nickname. He said, your nana, she was a force that pushed me up, that braced my back. Do you understand? That book, use that book as that force, okay? Read up on what it is meant for black women to do, for, you know, what we are and what we need to be. We are a force that holds our black men up, okay? And that book, it lets you know that. It's not coming from everybody. Some of the people, I think the majority of people are middle class, but that's okay. You know, I can relate to some of that. I'm poor, but I can relate to some of that. You was a poor. But I got what he was saying when I was reading that book. We are the force.
Right.
The black man, we raised them. We got them. And we stepped aside.
Yeah.
I added it myself. But when we stepped aside them, we walk together. You know? And that's what we all need to start back doing. Thank you, Ms. Mother. So my part is done. I'll let them finish with the book review and giving their points.
What score did you give?
I give it a 3. Now, I mean, y'all give your own thing. I liked it. But I gave it, do I have to say why I gave it a 3? I felt that even though all the people were middle class, that she should have talked to Poe or lower class blacks or higher up blacks. I felt it should have been a little bit more diverse. But even though it wasn't, I got it. I loved it. So I gave it 3 stars. It's a great conversation starter. And can I say something else real quick? On the book club, I'm not going to repeat myself, I hope not. There were people who unfollowed us and unliked our page because I posted those 2 questions up there about the book. So what I'm going to say to you all, I didn't waste my time seeing who or what you were, but if you're gone and you're watching this, stay gone. Because if you can't deal with a controversial conversation, have that conversation in a grown-up way, you shouldn't be part of no book club. For what? You know, you wasting your time and you wasting my space. So you can stay gone. And that's how I feel about that. But they took themselves off.
Right. That's all.
You can stay off. It's just that simple. I deal with grown-ups that have opinions. And if you have something that you want to say, you should say it. But if you feel that you need to unfollow and unlike because, oh my God, she actually put that? Yeah, she put that. What's my name?
Kim Walker. All right. I give it a 3.5. I too say it should have had some, low class people in there. However, I gave it a 3.5 because I did like it. I did like the fact that, it did ask those questions and make those statements that some people just don't have the balls to do. And I think it brought out controversial statements, stuff that we have. So many times I think we have these conversations behind closed doors in our living room, but we don't have the balls to say it when there are other groups out there in the same room we're in. We can say it when we're around Pookie and all of them, even the whole Bill Cosby stuff. We have our opinion about all of that behind closed doors. But if you cannot be bold enough to state your opinion in public, no matter who's around, no matter how it feels, then that is on you, and you really don't have that opinion. You shouldn't even be voicing it. So I think, in all honesty, I enjoyed this book. I enjoy books that are controversial. I enjoy books that open up the topics of stuff that is taboo that we're not supposed to talk about or that we are afraid to talk about. So I really like this book. I like the fact that it talked about stuff that we don't talk about or stuff that we do talk about. Because I've made statements about Madonna myself, about how she can wear whatever she want to wear. She can do whatever she want to do. She can kiss Britney Spears and it'd be okay. But here come Beyonce in a leotard and all of a sudden something wrong with her. So I feel like I appreciated this book. I like it. I give it a 3.5. I feel like you should have gave some other perspective, maybe low class perspective. But that's me. Okay, your turn. Give it here.
Well, I'll give it 4 stars.
Scoot in. We got 2 cameras and kids.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Look, I'm trying to get out the camera.
I guess I gotta get up. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Keep talking. Here we go. Sorry, y'all. This is our version of recording. Give us a break. Okay, go ahead. I got you.
I'm going to give the book 4 stars.
Okay.
I'm going to give the book 4 stars based on everything that she talked about. She talked about things that I'm 28 years old, and people don't know what I've been through. But I have been, when I was in middle school, high school, I was teased because I had big lips. I was teased because my hair was longer than some of the Asian young girls, white young ladies, blue, green, whatever else. My hair was longer. I was picked on. I was called brace face because I had braces to straighten my teeth. I have a crooked smile, But it's that J.K.O. song. That's my favorite song. I like that song too. But I do give her 4 stars because she hit on points that somebody in my class, in my age bracket, we don't talk about. We can talk about rap songs. We can talk about Young Jeezy, Yo Gotti, Nicki Minaj, but none of that opens up the door for us to talk about the pain that we endure as black women. Right. And I'm not gonna call myself black. I'm gonna call myself melanin because every day that a young melanin baby girl, every day that a young melanin baby girl grows up.
They said cannot hear clearly. Speak a little louder.
Every day that a young melanin baby girl grows up, it's going to be hard for her every day. Every day is going to be a test for her.
But let me ask you a question. And I know this your thing, Shine, but you said something that's a good point. Did your bullying come more from Asians, non-blacks, or did they come from blacks?
It came from blacks.
Because that's another thing she talked about in the book. Yeah. The racism we face from our own, whether or not natural hair, and I know what she's talking about with her hair and the braces and stuff. Because Mama worked 2 jobs to do what she had to do, and that's what I was supposed to do. That's what good mamas do. And her hair, natural hair, and I grew her hair out. Her and sister both had long, beautiful black hair, and that was another thing. Remember I said about the blonde. Why do you need that when your hair, black women, our hair grows? Yeah. It's a matter of washing it and taking care of it. I don't know what no natural movement is because I've been natural what? Heck, longer than God knows what. Ain't no natural movement. But bullying coming from your own kind. So I think we have to figure out how to fix us so we can stop the hateration. I don't know if that's a word, but we need to stop that. Because I looked at the emotion in your face, so that means you're still feeling it, And that's why I came around.
I don't mean to cut you off. I am still feeling it because I can have a melanin brother, I'll say black brother talk to me, but he won't give me the time of day. He can be a decent brother. He can work a 9 to 5, have a good head on his shoulders, well educated and all. Grow up with a nice. He doesn't even have to have a father in his household, but his mother knew exactly what to do, and it was a male figure around strong enough to help her raise him. No, that's what I'm going to look for. Somebody that is willing to build with me. But that man is going to look past me because of my complexion, because I'm dark complected. But I always know that the blackberry is sweeter than juice. I don't mean that sexually. I mean mentally, my mind.
Because you were taught
my mind.
You were taught that black is beautiful.
Yes, right.
And that's another point in the book. Some of the women said it was like it was taboo for somebody to say that black is beautiful.
Got to say it.
Yeah, because black is beautiful.
Tell my daughter that.
Yes.
I'm feeling that because she would come home with it. Oh, Mama, this girl, my man, she got nice long hair. I said, stop right there. There's nothing wrong with your hair. There's nothing wrong with your hair. My daughter's very dark too. And I used to get her, she said, oh, Mama, I didn't mean that so and so. I'm just saying she was pretty. And I still would tell her that I don't care.
Don't focus on her.
You look just as good as she.
You focus on
and I mean, that used to burn me up because I went through that so much growing up. And it's still 63. It's still there a little bit. Not as bad as it used to be, running around worrying about her hair and this and that and the other. And remember taking my hair loose at school because it rained. And the white girls was combing theirs and mine was plaited up. And I took mine loose. And you know what happened to it? It just and I'm still ashamed of it. So it took a while. It took a while because I had to come to realize that the same thing I got in the store. There it is, right? Yes. It's just how I feel about my.
And that does not make us angry black women. It doesn't. It doesn't make us angry. I've tried to teach her you're beautiful.
And I am. I've embraced my beauty. I've learned to love myself.
Yeah. And it was hard. She wouldn't even go to certain dances because the boys are asked. She wouldn't even know. Me and her dad both be like, come on, one of us is sports, you just go. Yeah. She would go. And we would try to get her to understand, embrace who you are. You're beautiful. You're black. There's nothing wrong being black. And that's what that book, like I said, we need more black women to read it because right now we're living in dangerous times where our young black girls, they falling back. And no offense, you can fall back on your own. But my ancestors worked too hard to come out of cotton field. And I know that's something I'll never do. It's just that simple. And people can sit there and say whatever they want to say. My grandmother was a domestic. My mother was domestic. I've been working in a factory, worked herself to death. I will never work those type of jobs because their thing was there's no need for you to work it when I'm going to work like a dog and send you to school and do this and do that. So while you work like a dog and send me to school, I'm going to appreciate that. You understand? Now, if there's no other job for me to have, then you do what you have to do. But if they can work like that, so I can go, let's say they were domestic. They work like that for me to go work hardest. I'm going to work the hardest, in which I have. And I'm going to make sure she can be the hostess or the manager of the help or a teacher. Do you understand? We step up and we rise. And this is what I'm saying and what my grandfather was trying to point out that I didn't get until I was grown. Had my own and went through what I went through with my own kids. We have to be able to uplift our kids to rise. We can't uplift them to rise if we're sitting there riding with our kids and we're telling them, look at her, she all yellow, she red. Because I don't know how many lips I popped when I was a little girl for calling me yellow, and I'm not yellow. I'm black. I am no color. You know? And I used to tell them that. I am no color. I'm black. And everybody say, you black. We all just black. It's just that simple. I don't have good hair. You wet it up. But I'm one of those black sisters. I walk down the street with in the rain. That doesn't bother me. My mother blessed me with that hair. So we black. We uprise.
Mm-hmm. I'm proud of it. Now that I'm older, I've embraced it. And when I see the looks that I do when I walk around, I have different races of men and women who say, I love my hair. And I say, thank you. Now, whether they're being condescending or not, I should say that's a compliment. No matter which way you meant it.
Yeah.
And I've learned to just walk with my head held high because there's no reason for me to bow my head for what? There's no need for me to do that. I'm a very intelligent young lady. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And just like they might have this, that, and the third, but I can get that also. And I'm not worried about materialistic things. So while you're sitting there sweating me because of my hair, remember this: it is not a weave, an extension, but it is an extension of me and my ancestors. How about that? And that's something that's beautiful. And nobody's going to tear me down or tear that away from me, but tear that down in front of me at all. I am a proud melanin sister, and I stand to gain everything that I'm going for. I'm going to accomplish everything that I set for myself. I would not be beat down with words, looks, of derision, or anything else.
So how would y'all, excuse me, how would y'all stop other black women from the racial behavior they describe?
Education. I think the problem is we don't educate. It's me behind the camera, y'all. I think the problem is we don't educate. Now I'm there. I think the problem is we don't educate our community. We don't check them. You'd rather have a conversation, and I've said it so many times, where people were talking, they'll talk about somebody, and you'll be like, well, if they said that around you, why did they feel so comfortable to discuss me around you unless you are playing for both sides? So just like we can check somebody with that, you can check somebody with saying stupid stuff out of their mouth. When you hear some other black chick down in another black chick because of what she looks like or what she's doing, check her. If we start checking people, then number one, they're going to stop having those stupid conversations around us. Number two, they're going to empower them to actually say, well, dang, maybe I need to change the way I think. Because a lot of times, we don't realize the ignorant comments we make until somebody tells us that the comment was ignorant. Because if we've been conditioned that it's okay to talk like this, it's okay to have that mentality, it's okay to feel this way, I'll never get this way because my mama didn't do it, my daddy didn't do it, my generations didn't do it, so this is just the mentality I have. If I start checking you and telling you there's life after this, because just like this book club, there's a lot of things I didn't find out until I joined. So just like a lot of things, like when you're doing it on your own, and you're constantly doing it, and you're constantly doing it your way, and constantly doing the way you were taught, what you Google or YouTube, when somebody opens your eyes to a new perspective, you can either embrace it or you can run away from it. And if we start checking our black sisters and saying, listen, here's some facts, you embrace it or you run away from it, but at least I educated you, you want it. So if we start educating our black women and telling them that what you're saying is not right, that you need to embrace who you are, embrace your body, embrace your personality, embrace what you bring as a black woman to the table, and stop being, competitive with your sister. Because if we look at our other counterparts, they're not checking for us. And the first time they grab a black man, what do we say? How come they coming over on our side? Why do you care? Why don't you worry about your household?
Yes.
So if we check the sisters and put them in their place and let them know, you're a phenomenal black woman, in case nobody told you, but just watch what you say out your mouth, because what you say have life. And you can actually empower or turn down somebody with your words. And you never know the kind of day that person had. They could have had a crappy day and you added to it with your mouth. Or you could have lifted them up with your mouth. So we educate our women, not just black women, but women in general, and educate our society on don't treat me like this because you don't know how to treat black people. So you figure this is how you were taught to treat me.
Don't treat me like this because you actually don't know me.
You don't know me.
You don't know me at all.
So let me educate you on how you can handle me.
And how you can get to know me.
Right.
And see, that's the beauty of the book club. We are Southside Book and Writers Club, and we are diverse.
Right.
We want everybody. We don't care if you're black, white, green, or yellow. You can come in and sit down. We do workshops. We review books. We get upset. We talk smart to each other.
But you just got to be open-minded.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing. If you come and join our club, or even if you join our wall, because let's talk to the people who decide they want to unfollow us and unfriend us and all that good stuff. Number one, you're not open-minded. Because in a relationship, think about your brother or sister. You're not going to always agree. But are you going to discard that brother or sister and say, I'm not fooling with you, we no longer blood?
And if a book causes you to run,
then obviously there's some issues deep-rooted in you that you need to check on.
Because you're going to leave because of a book.
So obviously you have issues with black women. Because the way I look at it is, if you have an issue with that topic of what makes angry black women, or even the topic of us discussing black women in general, and you say that you don't care to hear us talk about it, but at the same mouth, you're talking about a black woman is too independent, maybe you need to pick this book up and read it.
Thank you.
Because I feel like a lot of times things that get underneath our skin topics are because we're not open-minded to it. We got some deep-rooted issues that we have never addressed or not trying to address, or even the fact that we have had this mentality where we can talk behind closed doors to our cousins and our friends, but we can't talk to a group of people. Can you make those same statements that you make around Buki, around Lisa, or Teresa, or Becky? Can you make those same statements about being a black phenomenal woman that you make around Buki? Can you make those to Lisa, Becky at the workplace beside the water cooler?
No, you can't.
And that's the problem. You are a closeted supporter. You're a closeted supporter.
You should be able to voice your opinion. Every other race can voice their opinion with no backlash. And another thing, reason why I say backlash, because even when there's black people, you may have somebody say something that you find inappropriate or borderline racist. You will not say anything. You don't have to cuss them out, but you can sit there and say, hey, Jane Doe, Mel Joe, that's inappropriate.
Right.
Don't say that again around me.
But how can we as black people, I heard someone say, I'm not racist because I'm black. You can't be racist and turn down your own community and be prejudiced against your own race and jack up your own community with your mouth, your personality, your attitude.
That's Tamara's book covers also.
Right.
You had women in there who felt and experienced racism with their own family.
Right.
You had a sister in there, which I can't remember, she dark skin or light skin, but her own family came at her because of her complexion.
Right.
How do you sit there and judge your own blood? I mean, I don't care if you're a cousin or whatever. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with you?
Because even think about it, we've even had statements, and I know that in my family they make statements. Well, Whitney, you dark, you be out in the cotton field, and I'm light, so I be in the house. Even statements like that families make, if they're inappropriate, and then they also show you that the societal conditioning that we have, that fair is light, and that's the right way, and dark is wrong.
It makes the person think that it's okay to say something like that. That is so inappropriate.
And they make them think there's something wrong with you. And the problem is, a lot of times we have lots of low self-esteem in our communities, in our black communities, because we tear down our little black girls early. We teach them that you're supposed to play with doll babies. We teach little boys that when you fall, you pick up.
What color the doll babies we talk about they was playing?
They're white. They're white with fair hair. Barbie is skinny a size 2.
Yes.
Barbie doesn't have Negro hair. Barbie's skinny a size 2. Barbie had more careers in a little bit. Barbie seems like a con artist to me.
Yes.
Barbie done had the dream house. She went to repossession. She done had the condo. She done had the pet store. My child will never know Barbie because Barbie got too many accessories.
One Barbie done screwed how many kids?
Really? She done
Excuse
screwed
my
out
French,
of
but
here. She done screwed it.
How many kids did she screw? But if we did it, we won.
But if you're going to give another race a black baby doll, then they're going to say that baby's bad.
Right.
But see,
It's bad.
but that's also why, like I said, diversity. because now you also have white moms who are stepping out of the box because, and they're not from mixed families.
Right.
They're buying black baby dolls for their kids, and some of them are doing the same thing that we're trying to do, where we're trying to teach. It's okay for me to go buy my child a black doll because one thing, you're black, and I'm gonna buy a black doll. It's okay for me now. I guess I could buy a white doll. I haven't thought about it. Now I'm being serious, and I guess when I think about it, I just realized I hadn't thought about it,
But what about the other issue of people telling me, well, I don't see color? And I think that issue, but here's the problem that's with me. I hate growing up, and even when I work in the school system, I hear people say, well, I don't see color, so I don't teach my kids color. That's great that you are not talking about, you're not tearing down different races, but you need to also educate your child because you may not see color, but when they get in society and have to deal with people and somebody treat them wrong, they need to have that experience.
People do see color.
They see color all the time.
I saw it all the time. And
I see it all the time.
I saw color with certain teachers. It'd be black and white, Asian, foreign. I saw color. Anytime you have a classroom with white kids that will attack a white teacher, okay, they saw her color for sure because they put her in the corner in the classroom to the phone, and we had to go up in there and get her because those kids were like, she can't come in here and talk to us like that, but she was foreign and she was white, and like I said, they saw color, but they showed her what color they were. They were American white. And there was a whole different color right there.
You have to teach people that even though you say you don't see color exists. And even though I think their mentality, I get what they're trying to say. It's sort of like if you put a black kid and a white kid in a playground, they're gonna play with each other. They're not gonna be like, Mommy said don't play with each other. They don't see color. And I think that's great that you're trying to get society to be more like that. But society has had generations of prejudice, generations of people teaching them how to hate another person just because of some issue, some description.
But look, some of that is ignorance, and that's some of the stuff that she addressed in the book. A lot of that is just straight ignorance. You want to be racial. That's like you and me, and this is not for all white men. Because I've met, and I have cool white brothers. Y'all heard me say white sisters. I've met some, girl, you after this, you after that. And I just don't understand the mentality because who's after what? No, I don't need your check. Probably make more than you. So you can keep your little check. I don't need your car because I'm a truck girl. I don't need that. I don't need you to teach me how to shoot because I probably live better than you. So what else can I do? What else am I taking from you? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. And I don't understand you just want a free ride. Those are comments that I hear. You want a free ride. You want government funds. Really?
Right. So I have a question. And I'm pretty sure we already covered this, but this is my question. We were talking about, we haven't talked about this though, but mixed relationships. Now, it's okay when a black young lady sees a black man with a white young lady, Asian or Korean, it doesn't matter. It seems to be okay. But if that brother just so happens to see her walking with a white man,
she'll sell out.
Exactly. Why is that? Because
they covered that in the book too.
And they treated me really nice.
Right.
My own brothers would treat me like trash, but that man would treat me really nice.
Right.
She's
a sellout.
Look, I think that you have a lot of people. The same thing I say when it comes to white men that date black women. Even though that white woman will sit there and say that it doesn't bother her, it does. It honestly does. And for the brothers can date white women, but they don't want to see a sister date a white man. It does bother them. It shouldn't bother them. It shouldn't bother anybody who you choose to date. You know what I'm saying? But we know that it does. And I have really no idea how to address that part, but everybody needs to leave everybody else.
See, the problem is if we focus on our own, I think the book goes back to if you stay in your own lane, if you water your own grass, if you cut your own grass, instead of focusing on the other person's, because A, I don't know what you had to do to get your grass. A, that could be artificial turf. B, I don't know what you're dealing with over there in your household. You and Bill could be holding hands, skipping and heading to work, and y'all could have just been fighting like cats and dogs inside the house. So instead of focusing about somebody else's household, somebody else's life, somebody else's hair, somebody else's occupation, worry about yours. Because you don't know that chick you think she looking good and everything. She may have 5-6 jobs just holding them, and everything she got is leased and nothing is on. And you over there fussing and mad because you in your apartment, but at least you have in your apartment. She done been in 20 different places in 2
what you
years.
just saying, we're gonna have this for black and white.
Right.
Stay in your own lane.
Stay in your own lane.
Stop assuming.
Exactly.
Stop trying to draw conclusions when you don't know.
Exactly.
Stay in your own lane.
And
Just like
appreciate
what
your
Ricky
own.
said.
There you go.
And I think a lot of times, if you work hard at your own, I've noticed so many people focus on what this person has and what that person has. But if you actually take the time to focus on your own life and focus on bettering your life, then you will be so caught up in your own life that you don't focus about what Shaquita's doing, what Becky's doing, who Becky dating, who Shaquita doing. You won't focus about that.
And you honestly won't. And you'll also be more confident when it comes to your hair, your lips, your weight. Because like I said, I know for me, I'm not changing who I am.
Nope, I like every
I've been natural all my life, and I'm going to stay the way I am. There's no natural movement. I've had big lips since I was a child. That's my business. 3 bellies right now, I'm proud of them. Kim is big and beautiful. It just is. But be confident, So,
who you are. But we need to go back to teaching our little girls about self-esteem.
Well, maybe that's something we can start working on here in the city of Richmond.
In the community. And I think we need to, because we need to start doing self-esteem awareness.
And start doing some, draw the ideas up. I'm on.
All right. And then we need to do something for the little black boys as well.
That's true.
Because the boys need to understand that you don't have to abandon, you don't have to speak with it. And then here's another thing, because I heard this in my school system, and it just agitated me. One little boy said his pull-out game was so strong that he would not get a girl pregnant. And he is literally going around carrying. Middle. I'm at middle. He said his pull-out game is so strong that he don't have to worry about getting no girl pregnant. However, he's doing all of this. And here's the thing. He is illiterate and he is a young boy. But think about it. In a couple of years, we're going to have his junior running around the school. And the thing is, if we don't grab this generation right now and tell them, baby, you don't have to worry about your pull-out game. You can still get her knocked up. And if we educate these kids and educate them in general, then we won't have to work. Because I'm afraid that in a couple of years, I'm going to be teaching his child.
Yeah, be more afraid of him running around. She's not going to be teaching. She'll probably be teaching his kid, but he won't be here. And there will be about 25 and 30 other little young teenage girls who won't be here either. Because guess what? HIV does not have this, well, I'll choose you and choose you.
Right.
Neither does AIDS. So
that's notice a strong pull-out game.
I mean, and I think we need to teach our generation, because think about it. When you have no role models and you don't have nobody in the household, we need to, because it really, when I walk around and hear these kids talk, it breaks my heart. And I'm like, this is the future.
But see, we getting off topic with that.
Yeah, we getting off topic. Yeah.
But that's part of, if you go back to the book, no parental supervision, no parental control, no parental guidance in the house. That's also why you got your young black girls feeling what they feel. Right. If the only thing mama can do, mama's 30, 20, 40, even you got the 50-year-old mama. And they're just as bad as the 15-year-old teenager. You understand?
Right.
They're just as bad. When you have to deal with them, no wonder you got girls thinking the only way I can get love is to lay on my back. Or the only way I can get love is to blonde my hair. I need straight hair. I need the latest weave, y'all.
Show as much of my body.
Yes, I need to wear this and wear that because I need these all around here like that. No wonder you have no skill. You have no confidence in yourself because your thing is, hey, you've watched mama do it.
And you think that's the only way to get seen?
Bingo.
That's the only way to do it. Here's one system, and that's the only way to go by.
Bingo.
Mama's 20, grandmama's 30, and baby girl is 10.
And all of them doing the same thing.
They all doing the same thing.
Thank you. And there's no cutoff. It's a revolving door.
So
and that's what you
have.
And for anybody who has a child young, you do not want to see your children come behind you and do the same thing.
No.
It's heartbreaking, but I'm going to tell you, I'll cut that for another time.
So we gave the book a what? I know they're about to put us on. So we gave the book
You gave it a what?
I gave it a 3.5. She gave it a 4. You gave it a 3. So we rounded up to
what y'all think?
4.
From the sounds of it, like she gave us some really good information that would have to be at least a 4.
Okay, so we rounded up to 4.
I go with 4.
Rounded up to 4. 4
stars.
All right, 4 stars. All right, y'all.
We're about to go. You already
Thank you.
All right, I'm clicking your